Welcome to the March 8th, 2023 regular meeting of the Chino Valley Fire District Board of Directors. The time is 4:30 p.m. Board members, please make sure your microphones are on and remember to talk directly into the microphone. I will now call the meeting to order and take roll call. You're all here. I will pull them. Director Krieger. We're all here, so we don't need to. We're all present. Closed session. The Board of Directors will meet in closed session to discuss the following items. Public employee performance evaluation pursuant to Government Code Section 54957, Title Fire Chief. Conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to paragraph 2 of subdivision D of Section 54956.9, one or more potential cases. Do we have any public comments on closed session? Seeing none. I will now adjourn to closed session. Okay, we're going to reopen from closed session to open session. And welcome to the March 8th, 2023 regular board meeting of the Chino Valley Fire District Board of Directors. The time is 6:01 p.m. and we will now begin the meeting and take roll. Director Evinger.
Present.
Director Krieger.
Here.
Director Howie.
Here.
Vice President Luth.
Here.
And I'm also present. Report out of closed session. Legal counsel, can you please give us a report out of closed session?
Thank you, President DeMonico. Out of the two closed session items we heard tonight that were announced on the record before we adjourned to closed session, neither has reportable action this evening.
Thank you. Would everybody please stand and join me in a pledge to the flag of the greatest country in the world. Ready? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if you please remain standing for our invocation with Chaplain Adam Hout. Chaplain.
Good evening, everybody. Full house tonight. Everybody looks good. Let us pray. Dear Father, we just thank you for this beautiful day that you've given us, Lord. I just thank you for everybody getting here safely, Father, and anybody that might be on their way, Father, that you just get them here safely. Father, I pray for our meeting tonight that we lift it up with you in mind, Father, that any decisions and discussions that are made, Father, that we keep you at the forefront of this meeting, Father. I pray for all the personnel that is here, Lord, our fire personnel, healthcare professionals, our sheriffs, Father, and anybody else I might have left out, our paramedics, Father, and anybody else that I might have left out, Father, I lift them up to you. I pray for our district, Lord. I pray for our cities, that you would just put a hedge of protection over everybody, Father, and all of our firefighters as well, Father. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Chaplain. Please be seated. Clerk of the board, do we have any changes to the agenda?
There are no changes to the agenda.
Thank you, Angela.
So we'll now move on to presentations and announcements. The first item is a proclamation for National Donate Life Awareness Month.
Do we want to? Okay. Each year, we invite Donate Life Ambassador Rob Ralston to join us for this presentation. This year, Chino Valley Fire Captain Steve Tevis, who is an organ recipient, is also joining us. At this time, I would like to invite Rob and Captain Tevis to come forward and receive the proclamation. Tonight we honor the selflessness and generosity of those who have given the gift of life through organ, tissue, and eye donation. We also recognize the organ recipients that carry with them the legacy of the organ donors by living a life of service. Captain Tevis illustrates that through the impact he has on the commitments, excuse me, my glasses are low. Captain Tevis illustrates that through the impact he has of the communities we serve and beyond. Rob demonstrates it through his work, and on behalf of the Chino Valley Fire District Board of Directors, I would like to proclaim April 1st to the 30th, 2023 as National Donate Life Awareness Month. A complete copy of this proclamation is available in an attachment on our agenda on the Fire District website.
And I want to thank both of you very much for bringing awareness to this very critical and important item for the community and the rest of the world. So thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Go ahead. Say something first. That's interesting because I've never known Captain Tevis to hold back, so.
Thanks, guys. It's a blessing to be here. It's very touching. See a lot of friendly faces that we've done this like 8 years now. For me, it was a liver transplant 12 years ago. And once I got the gift of life, I decided to make a point of making sure that people got lucky like myself. And I was blessed with meeting, actually it was Tim Shackelford originally at a city council meeting. And then when he retired, the big kahuna, Dave Williams, jumped right in and has done the exact same thing and taken it to another level. And I'm so proud of the flag raising ceremonies that we do every year. The whole month of April, you see the Donate Life flag fly on all the fire stations. And not only do firefighters, men and women, save lives on a regular basis, but you're saving lives exponentially on a daily basis by raising awareness for this worthy cause. So I know I'm blessed to be here, and I'm so glad to meet you guys, and we'll keep up the good work.
Rob, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And Dennis?
Well, I too am fortunate, just like Rob. I was very blessed. In 2016, I had my transplant, and mine was a kidney transplant. And lucky for me, I never had to go on dialysis or anything because of my cousin Katie was my live donor, and she donated to me, which, of course, who knows where I'd be today if it wasn't for her. When this occurred, there was so much support from the department, from all the guys on the floor, from administration, phone calls. They helped everybody out. Everybody stood up, did trades with me, and took care of me. So I understand what it's like to be blessed with not just my family, but also with the family here and everybody at the department. So I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate everybody for all the things they've done over the years and the sacrifices. Some guys that make for me because my meals have certain things I can't eat, and guys work around me and cook around what I can and can't eat, so always appreciated. But I just want to say I'm truly blessed, and Katie, my donor, she went even further with it, and she got into social media, onto networks, and she is also now an ambassador for Donate for Life. And with that, we were able, this year, my wife and I, Dana, were able to go and decorate the Rose Parade float for the Donate for Life this year. And then we got to see it on TV. It was pretty awesome to see our work out on the Rose Parade. So I just want to say thank you to everybody, and thanks for coming.
So we're really glad that you took care of Steve because we're a better organization with him here, so thank you.
And by the way, our float won the sweepstakes.
It
trophy.
sure did.
Fantastic.
Just from Orange Grove, like, and you go all the way down to
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Hey. Brothers.
You too, yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, buddy.
Here, buddy.
Next, we are going to recognize an employee promotion, and we'd like to invite up Human Resource Specialist Boris Rubivar.
From 2016 to 2019, Boris worked part-time as a recreation specialist for the city of Chino Hills. In 2017, after graduating Brownson Technical School and receiving a certification in HVAC, he then worked for a private company called American Air Balance, where he assisted in correcting airflow on air pressures in hospitals. In 2018, he was hired by the Chino Valley Fire District as a part-time auxiliary worker. In 2019, Boris was promoted to a full-time auxiliary worker position, and later that year, Boris was promoted to office technician for the Human Resources Department. Boris was promoted to Human Resources Specialist in 2022, and now handles all things relating to recruitment and personnel. In his spare time, Boris enjoys photography, cooking, and baking, reading, and spending time with his family. Please join me in congratulating Boris on his promotion to Human Resources Specialist.
So the HR department is obviously very important for your organization, and we're very fortunate to have Boris. As you can tell by his background, is very, very varied. The one thing that wasn't mentioned, though, if you ever need any fashion tips, he's the man. He comes in looking good every day. You come in like this, and he comes in showing us what we're supposed to look like. So.
Good to know. Boris, congratulations on your promotion.
And especially if pink socks are a really cool thing, then that's your thing.
Next, we have the Fred L. Burns Award. We'd like to invite up community member Ann Magallanes.
How are you?
The Fred L. Burns Community Service Award was established in 1993, honoring the late Fred L. Burns as the first award recipient, recognizing him for a lifetime of extraordinary service to the community. The award has since been presented to individuals in the Chino Valley who have made a significant contribution to the Chino Valley Fire District in the area of furthering the district's mission statement and or who has made a significant contribution to the Chino Valley community in the area of community service and support of public safety. The Chino Valley Fire District is proud to recognize Ann Magallanes as the 2002 Fred L. Burns Community Service Award recipient for outstanding contributions to our community and support of the Chino Valley Heart Safe, Bleed Safe programs. The Heart Safe Community Program is designed to increase survival rates from sudden out-of-hospital cardiac arrest by making automated external defibrillations readily accessible to public places and by teaching the public on how to use them. The Bleed Safe Community Program is designed to increase the survival rates from potentially preventable causes of death due to trauma by making trauma kits readily accessible in public places and teaching the public life-saving intervention skills using the items inside the kits. Ann is an advocate for the Heart Safe and Bleed Safe programs and plays a key role in fundraising efforts towards the purchase of the life-saving resources to benefit the community. Through her business, Cookies by Night, I like that. Write that down. Through her business, Cookies by Night, Ann hosts the educational workshops and fundraisers, then generously donates the proceeds of those events to the Chino Valley Fire Foundation so that additional AEDs and trauma kits can be placed throughout the Chino Valley. During the month of February, 100% of the proceeds from the workshops she hosts benefit the Heart Safe, Bleed Safe programs in recognition of the American Heart Month, a time when all people can focus on their cardiovascular health. In addition, registrants of the February workshop were also briefly taught about the Chino Valley Fire Foundation's Heart Safe and Bleed Safe programs and how their registration fee goes towards the purchase of an AED or trauma kit to be donated to an establishment in the Chino Valley. To date, you can find one of these AEDs and trauma kits donated by Cookies by Night inside the Chapel of St. Paul the Apostle in Chino Hills. Also, the Magallanes family have personally donated an AED and trauma kit to St. Margaret Mary Church in Chino, which can be found inside the chapel as well. Ann's passion and dedication to community outreach and education is truly remarkable. We are grateful to Ann and the entire Magallanes family for their commitment to our community safety and well-being. And we really appreciate you and everything you've done, Ann. Thank you so much.
This award is a very special award for us at the fire district. It's really a foundation of our district. And the most important thing is that we come to work and we do our job and we get paid for it and all that. And that's all nice and we appreciate that. But when you have community members that step up and come in and donate their own time to further the efforts that we do here, that takes it to a whole nother level. So without community members like Ann here, you know, that make us successful, we really, really appreciate that. This is an award that we look to give out annually. Sometimes we don't, there's been years that we don't give it out because it's a very coveted award. So we make sure that it goes to someone that really, really exemplifies what we're trying to accomplish. So Ann, congratulations. Nick, we appreciate you. Andy, wonderful family. And so we're happy to have you, and we're very proud of your wife and daughter-in-law.
Thank you.
We're good?
Thank you.
Good.
So next is our Hometown Hero Awards and Survivor recognitions.
This is a very special evening for us at the Chino Valley Fire District. The Board of Directors, along with the fire chief and staff, have the honor of recognizing some very special members of our community, as well as our outstanding employees. This evening, we will be honoring hometown heroes, CPR survivors, and members of our life-saving team, including dispatchers and our CVFD firefighters and hospital staff. Assisting me this evening will be Chief Williams and Deputy Chief Alt. Chief Williams, would you like to say a few words about the cardiac care program before Deputy Chief Alt tells us about our guests?
I absolutely would, thank you. So our cardiac care program, some of you may not know, was really a grassroots initiative started by one of our firefighter paramedics. He had this idea that we could do things better. And so he came up with this idea. The fire chief and the administration at that time supported it, and it's continued to grow. And through his leadership, the cardiac care program cadre have really elevated the service to this community. Across the nation, if you suffer from a cardiac arrest, you're about in the 30th percentile of surviving as you were prior to the incident. If you have that same incident here in the Chino Valley, because of the good work our folks do, in partnership with encouragement from the community and their willingness to step up, we're about 62.5% survivability. That means if you have a heart attack here in our area, you got about a 62.5% chance of surviving. It's double the national average. And again, it's because of the hard work, the confidence and the courage to step out there, and really it's about the community members. We have 4 pillars related to our cardiac care program: prevention, recovery, response, and I'm trying to think of the other one. Help me out, guys. Preparedness. Preparedness. And really it's the response piece that really we encourage the community members. If you have an incident like this while you're out in public or at home, we encourage you to go ahead and start compressions because we know time is life. So with that, I'll turn it over to Deputy Chief Paul.
Yeah, thank you, Chief. And speaking of life, what a blessing tonight. Look around at the amount of people that are here to honor the members of our community and the work of our folks and members of the community that contributed to outcomes. So as we begin this evening, we're actually going to start by recognizing a very special survivor. It's actually not specifically tied to sudden cardiac arrest, but nothing short of amazing. You're going to see why in a second. Could I please have the DiLorenzo family come forward? Okay, awesome. And also, we're going to call forward at this time Ms. Amanda Pitts, Public Safety Dispatcher, Ezekiel Guerra, Captain Simpson, Firefighters Kalusik, Thornberry, and Feenstra, Battalion Chief DeSoto, and also our partners from AMR, Paramedic Cameron Taunton, and EMT Tyler Parquette. Can we have you all come forward? All right, no tears. I have to be able to keep this together while I do this, people, okay? Okay, amazing. On October 25th, the unspeakable happened to the DiLorenzo family. Austin, their infant son, fell into the pool unnoticed. His brothers Caleb and Landon discovered him after what is believed to have been about 5 minutes in the pool. They dove into the pool to rescue little Austin. The family called 911, and Amanda Pitts, their neighbor, began to administer CPR. Chino Valley Fire paramedics arrived on scene and confirmed that Austin had actually begun to breathe on his own at that point. They transported him to a local hospital where he recovered and is now home with his family. And now we've actually had an opportunity, Chief Williams and President DeMonico have actually had an opportunity to present the Hometown Hero Awards to Caleb DiLorenzo, Landon DiLorenzo, and Amanda Pitts on behalf of the Chino Valley Fire District for your efforts in rescuing little Austin. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. You'll hear us say it takes a system to save a life. This is what that system looks like. Both members of our community, members of our folks that we get a chance to serve, our public safety dispatchers who are absolutely the first responders, those that you don't actually get to see, but they sit behind the console and take those calls. And then all the public safety folks have an opportunity to participate in that care, getting our folks to the hospital. So if we could have you remain there, and we're gonna try and squeeze you into a picture here really quick.
You want to start the ball in the back, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get the.
We're just gonna keep it going. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Good work. Hey, we got a job for you in a couple of years, okay? Thank you, Amanda. Fantastic. No, you thought that's stellar.
All right, and now we have the opportunity to recognize two very special cases where members of our community have survived sudden cardiac arrest. If you notice, over on this side of the room, we have a board covered with challenge coins. Today, we will celebrate survivors number 35 and 36. Actually, we have survivors 37 and 38 since then, but we haven't, that's after we planned this event, so there'll be more to come in the future. So amazing work that keeps happening in our community. So why a challenge coin? What is it about this, this token, and why do we choose to present that? There are several stories surrounding the significance of challenge coins. These tokens are used by the U.S. military and public safety organizations to recognize and honor a relationship between the giver and the receiver. One origin story describes a pilot that was shot down behind enemy lines in World War II. The only identification the pilot had in his possession was a medallion from his squadron. When he was captured by French resistance fighters, his medallion proved his identity and saved his life. Today, we give these coins to recognize the relationship between the giver and the receiver. This evening, the President of the Fire Board will give a coin to the chief in a little bit here, representing the support of our fire board and community to our cardiac care program and to our firefighters. The chief will then give a coin to the survivor on behalf of all the members of Chino Valley Fire. The survivor will then have the opportunity to pass the coin on to the members of the public safety team that helped save their life. Finally, the survivor will have the honor of placing their coin on our survivor board. So we begin with honoring survivor number 36, and this may seem a little bit out of order because we have 35 and 36, but you'll see why in a second. Early in the morning in November 2022, survivor number 36 was driving their vehicle and lost consciousness and then experienced sudden cardiac arrest. Their vehicle came to a rest, and a member of the community that witnessed the incident called 911. Following the instructions given by our public safety dispatcher, our hometown hero removed the survivor from their vehicle. An officer from the Chino Police Department arrived on scene and began to deliver hands-only CPR. Chino Valley fire crews arrived on scene and began to deliver high-performance CPR and advanced life support. After about 20 minutes of CPR, our survivor regained a pulse. After transport to Pomona Valley Hospital Medical Center, our survivor received top-notch post-arrest cardiac care and was eventually discharged home alive and well. It is a testament to the hard work and dedication to all involved that our survivor is alive and thriving today after being in cardiac arrest for over 20 minutes. Survivor 36 could not be with us here this evening, but Chief Williams has the honor of accepting their challenge coin from President DeMonico on their behalf. Hang on to that, Chief. Hang on to that, Chief. We're going to have a roll for that in just a second. And now, we would like to recognize and call forward Tommy Vasquez to receive the Hometown Hero Award from President DeMonico and Chief Williams. All right. Now, would members of our public safety team come forward to receive their challenge coin from Chief Williams? Public Safety Dispatcher Julie Anthony. Chino Police Officer Zach Kuczynski. Paramedic Engineer Brett Matson. Firefighter Paramedic Corey Whitworth. Firefighter Paramedic JT Bosler. Battalion Chief Fontes. And we actually have a lot of representatives from Pomona Valley Hospital here tonight, so you guys get to choose one to come forward. All right, and now Chief Williams will ceremonially place the challenge coin for survivor number 36 on the board. One more pick before we all step down.
Let's go on in. Can you get all of us? Let's go on in. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, vertically challenged. Oh, oh. Brett, can you? Perfect. Okay.
All right. All right, this is going to be very special. Well, so for number 35, after returning home from his usual 3-mile walk, survivor number 35 complained to his wife that something wasn't right and he didn't feel well. He then became unresponsive and experienced sudden cardiac arrest. His wife immediately activated 911 and followed the instructions of the public safety call taker and began CPR. Their son took over CPR until members of the Chino Valley Fire arrived on scene. Chino Valley Fire paramedics delivered high-performance CPR and advanced life support measures for 10 minutes until our survivor regained a pulse. Crews transported our survivor to Pomona Valley Hospital Medical Center where he received post-cardiac arrest care. After recovering, survivor number 35 not only returned home, but is also with us in the audience this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in celebrating our survivor number 35, Mr. Edward Layai. Wonderful. And now we would like to recognize and call forward Cindy Layai and Ryan Layai to receive the Hometown Hero Award from President DeMonico and Chief Williams. All right, Mr. Layai, we have a special job for you, okay? Now with the help of the chief and the president of the board, would you help honor us and the rest of the team by handing out coins as I call them forward, please? So will the following please come forward and be honored? Engineer Ethan Sanders. Unfortunately, our call taker from dispatch, Eileen Torres, wasn't able to make it this evening. Firefighters Bosler, Myers, and Griffith.
Thank you.
BC Fontes, and a different representative from Pomona Valley Hospital.
He's a doctor.
As the chief mentioned earlier on, our survival rates in this area are over double the national average at 62.5%. When we say survival rate, when we began our career eons ago, we used to consider if a person got a pulse back at any point a survivor, even if they didn't make it home from the hospital. Well, what we're proud to say is that survival rate we're talking about is folks like Mr. Lai who not only come home, but they live and thrive at the same level they did almost before they had the incident. So that's the level, when we say someone's surviving, we say they're thriving. So absolutely wonderful. So finally, Mr. Lai, what we'd ask for you, we have another coin for you, and we're gonna ask you to place your coin on the board. Okay, and for our final picture,
You guys
please.
come up, stagger in again. Is that close enough there, Marcel, or you need the uniform guys to tighten it up?
That should work, yes. Or that one.
We could put Bosler in front again if you want. I'm only saying that because you could put me in front of him and she's gonna go, yeah.
Okay, we got it.
Yep, thank you. We'll now take a 5-minute break.
All right, fellas.
The next item on the agenda is presentation of Carbon Canyon Community Wildfire Protection Plan. I'd like to call up the Carbon Canyon Fire Safe Council. And we have Eric Johnson, Vice President, and Paul Spitzeri, Secretary Treasurer.
Great, thank you very much. Quite an evening tonight, so it's nice to come after all that went before us. I'm Eric Johnson from the Carbon Canyon Fire Safe Council. I'm here with Paul Spitzeri, and just wanted to talk with you tonight about the Community Wildfire Protection Plan we just finished with your help. And so Carbon Canyon Fire Safe Council, as you know, is our role is to, our mission is to try and make the Carbon Canyon more fire resilient. And so this CWPP fits right into that because it helps us determine what do we need to do to be more fire resilient. So we've been working with Chino Valley Fire and well, going back to the early 2000s, Brea Fire since the 08 fire when those of us on the Brea side of the canyon joined up and we became one canyon as we should have been all along, and developed that CWPP in 2002, 2011, 2016, and now this is the latest update. And in the past, we really focused on certainly vegetation management, but the last CWPP was really focused on evacuation. How do people get ready to evacuate? How do they evacuate, and everything related to that. So this time we're really more focusing on still vegetation management, because that's still very important in the canyon, but also what can individual homeowners do to make themselves more fire safe? What can they do to their house? What can they do to their defensible space? And so that's going to be our focus for the next few years, in trying to make sure residents are prepared for when a fire does happen, because it will. And we all know that the more that homes are fire safe, the more that stops the spread of fire. So that's going to be our focus, and that was the focus of the CWPP. And so I'll turn it over to Paul.
Thank you and good evening. And one of the things that's really important in this process, I think, as a resident of almost 20 years, is just how much more adaptable and prepared people are from the professional side down to the residents. People in Carbon Canyon have often thought of themselves, maybe they want to be that way, isolated from the communities around them. And fortunately, what we've been able to do, I think, through the plan and other mechanisms is bring people together. Having Brea and Chino Hills work together is a fairly new thing that way as well. So one of the things we did as part of this was to have a stakeholders interview or a questionnaire that was done through an online mechanism, and that allowed for people to be able to share their viewpoints and their concerns. And we noticed some really pretty significant changes in people's attitudes. There's more preparedness, more information, more awareness of how people can get out of the canyon, as Eric referred to earlier. So those are all really important things that we see happening. There's a lot of work to do, clearly. But in addition to the fire districts, we work with a lot of other groups. There's just the cities themselves. There's having brush clearance and creek clearance. And so we just received money from Supervisor Hagman for that purpose. And that will go a long way to meeting our goals with this plan. So again, thank you all for your work with this. And we continue looking forward to working with you.
Thank you, guys. Questions?
Well, I'm going to say these two are very, very modest because the amount of work that goes into this, you guys, and it's a lot. So thank you, because you're doing it for the entire community, and when the entire community, we're all safe and keeping that canyon safe. So I really appreciate the efforts. So you both go above and beyond on many, many items that we participate in with the Fire Safe Council, and thank you very much. I just wanted to recognize that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The next item on the agenda is public communications. This is a time and place for the general public to address the Board of Directors about subjects that do not appear elsewhere on the agenda. The public may address items on the agenda at the time addressed by the board. Due to board policy and Brown Act requirements, action may not be taken on any issue not on the agenda. When you address the board, please state your name and address prior to making your remarks, and please limit your remarks to 5 minutes. President, I do not have any written requests to speak. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the board at this time? Okay, seeing none. The next item on the agenda is liaison reports to the fire district. And I would like to invite up Suzette Dang from San Bernardino County 4th District.
Good evening, President DeMonico, Vice President Luth, directors, chief, deputy chiefs, staffs, and audience members. Suzette Dang with County Supervisor Kurt Hagman's office. Supervisor Hagman's document shredding event is this Saturday, so if you haven't done so already, load up all your documents, all the shredding items, put it in a box, and come on down to Montclair City Hall parking lot. Location will be 5111 Benito Street in Montclair, and the time will be between 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. or until the shredding truck reaches capacity. We will be there, rain or shine. I know there's going to be a little bit of forecast of rain on Friday, but even if it drizzles on Saturday, we will be there, so come on down. We are asking to limit the boxes to 3 standard sizes, just so that it goes by a little faster, and we do recommend that you register online. And secondly, Supervisor Hagman is still accepting applications to fill the community commission in the district attorney's office. Those who are interested, you must be a resident of the district, 4th District, which consists of Chino, Chino Hills, Montclair, Ontario, and portions of Upland. You need to provide a letter of interest, and a resume and 3 references. The term of service is for 18 months, and I do believe they meet on a quarterly basis. And if you are selected, they will give you a detailed information. And if you have any questions regarding applying, please contact our office at 909-465-5265. And that is it. And I just want to say congratulations to all the honorees tonight. It's wonderful to see the community come together and they get all recognized. So thank you.
Thank you, Suzette.
Next, Mayor Pro Tem Karen Comstock from the City of Chino.
Good evening, President, Vice President, members of the board and staff. It's very nice to be here tonight. What a fantastic evening with your survivors 35 and 36. It really hits home. I know one of those survivors are a resident of Chino and a personal friend of mine. So congratulations, Chief, to you and your staff on a job well done tonight. This evening, my report will be brief. As a member of Seroptimus, which is a service organization that helps women and young girls in our community, we are hosting our annual Stepping Up event. It's been actually absent from the community the past couple of years, but this event is designed to help sixth grade girls transition into junior high school, which is an important transition. We call it Stepping Up. Always falls on normally our first Saturday of service. We weren't able to secure Chino High School this year, so it's actually gonna be on our second Saturday, March 11th. Starts at 8 o'clock in the morning for the young girls and goes until about 2:30 in the afternoon. It's a great event if you know any young girl that would like to participate in it. We cover topics like how to be successful in junior high, appropriate dress and grooming standards, internet safety, use of drugs and bullying, online texting, different things. So there's that event. Then the next event that's going to be happening in the city of Chino is actually what used to be what we called Cultural Palooza. That was so popular, we've actually, as a city, taken that to a 2-day event. It will be happening on March 18th and 19th this year, and we've actually renamed the event to Chino Days. So on the 18th, the event runs from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m., and on Sunday, March 19th, it runs from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. We've changed it up a little bit. There's going to still be music and food and different events, but one of the things that's happening this year for young artists is a chalk drawing contest. So if you know any chalk artists out there, invite them, send them our way, please. Of course, we would love to have you join us at this event. The first year is going to be a 2-day event for us, and we're excited. We're excited about the transition, and just I think post-pandemic, people are excited to just do different things in their community. I just also want to thank the members of the fire service for their hard work and their dedication. And last but not least, I also want to congratulate all the women in this room today for International Women's Day. Ms. Ramos Evinger, Ms. Robles, Ms. Pro, all your female staff at the fire department. Just by the mere fact that you work for the fire service, I hope you know what role models you are to young women and girls in our community. In my former role as the chief of police, I never took that responsibility lightly. I knew that every day that I stepped out, that young women, I mean, everybody is looking at you as you know, in these leadership roles that you share in our community, but particularly young women. And I believe that now there's never been a better time in the United States to be a woman, and young girls need to know that they can accomplish whatever goal that they set for themselves. So thank you for your leadership in our community. Thank you for your service. Thank you to your female staff. And we honor you and we thank you, and I know my family prays for your safety every day. That concludes my report. Thank you very much.
Karen, did you
Yes.
give the location for the Chino Days?
Yes, it's at City Hall.
At City Hall.
It's at, I'm sorry about that, City Hall.
Okay.
Yep, right there on the grass, and, you know, our favorite gathering point.
There you go, thank you.
Sadly, though, I don't know if you've seen across the street, we're starting to demolish that old fire station, so, yeah, so, yes, anything?
Yeah,
yes,
one
sir?
comment on Seroptimus stepping up for girls.
Yes, sir.
And Chino Rotary did stepping up for boys.
They do, yes, they
And
do.
it was part of that in the past, and that's an incredible program. And I don't know if anybody really realizes the impact that has on these kids, but just to watch them when you go through that program for that day, and the involvement and what they learn is just incredible. So great job, thank you.
You're welcome, President DeMonaco. It's a good day for our community, for Seroptimus. It's actually one of my favorite events that Seroptimus puts on annually. And the subjects that are covered, the topic matters that are covered there they're relevant, they're practical for these young girls, but also we have the parents sitting in the back so they can hear of these subject matters as well, particularly with all the online, these phones, and the kids, the era that they're growing up with these phones. These are wonderful tools, but they're also dangerous, and parents need to understand how to manage them with their children. In my house, there was no Fourth Amendment right. This phone was mine, your room, everything, I could toss it anytime. But, you know, people see it differently, but anyway, thank you very much. No Fourth Amendment privilege.
And next, we invite up President Mark Bozek from Chino Valley Fire Foundation.
Excuse me.
Good evening, President DeMonaco, members of the board, Chief Williams, staff, and community. Couple announcements for the Fire Foundation. We have our event March 17th for St. Patrick's Day at Roscoe's. It's going to be at 5 o'clock. We will be raising money. We'll do a Stuff the Boot type event there to get more AEDs for our great bleed safe that we just presented here tonight. That was amazing. So, and then also, we did just post our car show poster. That's gonna be May 20th, so we still have a few months, but I just want you guys to be prepared. We almost sold out already of spots the first week I posted it. But that's pretty much all the announcement we have. I just want to say thank you guys, and thanks for continuing to support the Chino Valley Fire Foundation.
Thank you. You have a card, get your form filled out now. Mine's in, I already submitted mine.
Do we have any other liaisons in the audience who would like to address the board at this time? Okay.
Okay.
Next on the agenda is the consent calendar.
Yes. Do we have any public comments on the consent calendar? Would anybody from the public like to pull anything on the consent calendar? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board. If any board member wishes to pull an item from the consent calendar for discussion, please state the item number you wish to pull.
Sorry.
Seeing none, at this time, I'd like to request a motion.
Motion to approve.
Moved by Director Evancher,
Second.
second by Director Krieger. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimous. Old business, not new business. We got.
Item number 8 on the agenda, California Special Districts Association, CSDA call for nominations for Board of Directors, seat C. The item before you tonight is a call for nominations for CSDA. CSDA is governed by an 18-member Board of Directors representing 6 geographical networks throughout California. Each of the 6 networks has 3 seats on the board with staggered 3-year terms. Chino Valley Fire District is part of the Southern Network, which includes the counties of San Bernardino, Los Angeles, Orange, Riverside, San Diego, and Imperial. CSDA Board of Directors is the governing body responsible for all policy decisions related to CSDA's member services, legislative advocacy, education, and resources. Board meetings are held bi-monthly in Sacramento, and board members are expected to serve on at least one CSDA committee. Committees meet 3 to 5 times a year, also in Sacramento. Additionally, board members are requested to attend CSD Annual Conference and Special District Legislative Days, as well as complete 4 modules of CSD's Special District Leadership Academy within 2 years. The incumbent for CSD Board of Directors Southern Network Seat C is Arlene Schaefer of Costa Mesa Sanitary District. Ms. Schaefer has expressed a desire to run for re-election. If the Fire District Board of Directors elects to submit a nomination, a copy of the Fire District's minute action and candidate information sheet must be submitted to CSD by April 6, 2023. Voting may begin on June 5th and ends at 5 p.m. on July 18th. Staff is recommending the Board of the Directors review and discuss the CSD call for nominations to the Southern Network Seat C and either vote to submit a nomination or decline to participate.
Thank you. Do we have any requests from the public to speak? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board for discussion. Now's the time for the board to make comments. Please make your comments. Does anybody have a desire to run?
No, but
Probably not gonna beat Arlene even if you did wanna run.
I have a comment though.
Arlene's a nice lady.
She is. She's been on the board for a long time.
Yes, Arlene has served us well in that role, and I say that we, continue to support her moving forward.
Then with that being said, because we don't have any nominations, I don't believe we have to vote on this.
Board President, I would take a motion just on the recommendation to decline to participate.
Okay, so
Do I have a motion to decline
I have a
nomination?
motion to decline the nomination.
Motion by Director Evancher,
Second.
second by Director Krieger. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimous.
The next item on the agenda is item number 9, resolution number 2023-02, nominating a fire board member as candidate for election to the Special District Risk Management Authority, SDRMA, Board of Directors. The fire district is a member of SDRMA, which is a public entity joint powers authority established to provide cost-effective property liability and workers' compensation coverages and comprehensive risk management programs for special districts and other local government agencies throughout California. SDRMA is governed by a 7-member board of directors elected at large from the membership by the program's members. Elections for directors are staggered and held every 2 years. 3 directors' terms are up for election this year. with terms beginning January 1, 2024 and ending December 31, 2027. The Board of Directors' responsibilities include establishing policy, providing oversight, and setting direction and vision to ensure SDRMA meets its mission, obligations, and commitment to its members. The board typically meets for 8 board meetings a year in Sacramento. The average meeting length is 4 to 6 hours, and average monthly commitment is 15 to 20 hours. Additionally, it should be noted that on March 1, 2023, the SDRMA Board of Directors adopted Resolution 2023-04 making findings and determinations under AB 361 for continued virtual meetings through calendar year 2023. The incumbents, Sandy A. Seafer-Raffleson, Robert Swan, and Jesse Claypool, have all expressed a desire to run for re-election. If the Board of Directors elects to submit a nomination, the candidate must be nominated by resolution and submit a statement of qualifications to SDRMA by 4:30 on May 1, 2023, to be eligible for the ballot. Ballots will be distributed mid-May and are due August 8, 2023. Staff is recommending the Board of Directors review and discuss the SDRMA call for nominations and either adopt Resolution 2023-02, nominating a Fire District Board member as candidate for SDRMA, or decline to participate.
Okay, do we have any requests from the public to speak on this item? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board. This is the time for the board to comment. Please ask your questions and make your remarks. And
Is anyone,
So Tom just asked me if I was interested. I am interested, but I think it could be a conflict with my current employer. So, I would need to have checked that out ahead of time, and I haven't. So, I think for now, I'll pass on it for now.
I have no interest in it, but I don't say does anybody, I'll make a motion if.
Are you interested?
No, I'm not,
Oh, okay.
no. I was just saying, I'll make a motion that we decline to participate, but if that's appropriate here.
I think we all would like to participate, but given our current schedules and other commitments with the fire district liaisons, I personally cannot take on anything else myself, so.
okay, I have a motion from Director Howie to decline.
Yep.
Second by Vice President Luth. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimous.
The next item on the agenda is item number 10. Resolution number 2023-03, adopting Fire District Policy and Procedures for Board of Directors. To begin, district staff is recommending one amendment to the published agenda item. The staff report and the listed purpose seeks the board's direction on the possibility of a community support fund policy. Staff is recommending section 1130.0 of the proposed revisions to the board policy be deleted. If the board's direction is to move forward with a community support fund policy, district staff will bring a standalone community support fund policy forward at a future meeting with additional parameters and guidelines for the distribution of district funds and background on the authority for district to undertake such policy. As such, the revised purpose is for the Board of Directors to 1, review and consider proposed changes to the fire district's policy and procedures for Board of Directors as presented in redline format. 2, provide further direction on policy sections 1130.0 Community Support Fund, which district staff is recommending be brought forward at a future meeting as a standalone policy. And section 2015.0, swearing in of newly appointed or elected board members if desired. And 3, consider approval of resolution 2023-03, rescinding resolution number 2022-01, and adopting the proposed board policy and procedures as revised with modifications, amended to remove sections 1130.0, the Community Support Fund, from the attached board policies and procedures. On the dais is a copy of the red line board policies for your reference. The sections highlighted in yellow are recommended changes suggested at the February 8th regular meeting. The sections highlighted in blue are recommended changes suggested by District Legal Counsel. It is recommended the Board of the Directors review and approve Resolution 2023-03, rescinding Resolution 2201, and adopting the amended policies and procedures for Board of Directors as amended to remove Section 1130.0, the Community Support Fund, from those policies at this time.
Thank you. A point of clarification, and this is for Isaac. would we be able to do two votes? One to approve or to submit approval for the board policies without the community support fund, and a second one, if the board desires to move forward with that, to give the authority for direction.
That would work fine, yes.
Okay. And with that, do we have any members of the public who wish to speak on this item? Seeing now, bring it back to the board for comments. I'd like to.
I didn't hear you all. Angela, can you reread the whole thing again?
No, she can't.
That was a lot. Wow. I'm okay with John, what you just said, with approving it, with the revisions there, and voting, removing 1130, and have a second vote to potentially bring that back. And thank you for everybody's hard work on this. I know it's been bounced around quite a bit, and we got a lot more input and made some good changes this year, and staff made changes, and everybody got involved in it, so I appreciate it.
One section, I'm just not following what it's actually saying on page 18. So this is 1050.23I, one additional day before the first day of the event and one additional day after the event, if coordinator spends in excess of 4 hours in the performance of his or her official duties for such event. And then it says one additional day before and one additional day after the event, the first day of the event, if the event location is more, I'm not sure I
You think
understand.
the wording's just a little clunky?
Yeah, it's a little clunky. I think I understood what we're
If
intending.
it's more than 50 miles away,
Yeah,
then, you know, like we're going to Sacramento, so.
Right.
We have the travel day before. And then if it goes past 4 hours, then I guess you could have the travel day after. Like if it goes until the evening, you know, you don't have to immediately go jump on an airplane to come home. You come home the next day, so that'd be considered another travel day. I understand, it just seems clunky.
yeah, it does.
We're already doing it,
Yeah,
so, but you just feel that the wording just seems clunky.
yeah, it does.
I don't know how to fix that for you.
Yeah.
I agree, I just don't know how to fix it for you.
Yeah. So, but we're saying if it's more than 50 miles, then it qualifies for the day before and after, right?
Yes.
Right. But it also has to be more than 4 hours of service involved, is that?
Yes.
Yes.
So it's kind of a double
That's in
thing?
the travel policy.
I'm sorry?
Is that in the travel policy, chief? I believe it's in the travel policy.
I believe it is. Would you like us to go back and rework the language on that? As I'm looking at it, the one thing that, and Isaac, maybe you can weigh in, to me, it looks like if you couple the 4 hours and the 50 miles, that they're really indicating the same thing, that if it meets any one of those criteria, you get the 1 day before and the 1 day after. That's what it looks like to me, but
Yeah. So can we take action on this with that small cleanup?
Yeah, I think to the chief's point, part of the motion recommendation could just be to revise the language associated with that subsection and make it clear, as the chief referenced, that we're discussing more than 50 miles from the district in connection with 4 hours or more. And that could be a part of the motion.
Okay, great, thank you, and I'm good.
Would you like to make that motion then?
Sure, yes, I will motion or move that we accept our revised policy and procedures with the cleanup work on section 1050.23I to incorporate the 50 miles and the 4 hours and clean up that language.
And leave the fund out of it.
Yes.
Community service.
Yes.
And remove 1130.
Yes.
Okay,
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Vice President Luth, a second by Director Krieger. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimous. So let's discuss if we want to give direction to move forward with the community support fund. So with that, I'll ask first, is there anybody in the public who'd like to speak on that? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board for consideration of the public support fund.
I would like to make a motion for staff to come back to us with wording on, and feasibility on this,
And legality.
and legality.
Yeah, I'll second that.
I have a motion by Director Krieger and a second by Director Howie. All in favor?
And just quickly for the motion maker, just to confirm, and that would include also staff's recommended policy to implement?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
The wording that staff comes up with.
What, is it to implement or a recommendation to do either or, policy, board direction?
I believe it would be to come back with an item with a sample policy to effectuate the community trust source. And then the board will consider that as a standalone policy item.
Also with the legality of whether we're allowed to do that.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'd like it to be researched first. If is it something we legally can do? Bring all that information to the board and then we can do it, cause I don't even, I don't wanna see it if we can't do it legally.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Staff will make sure that we get that information and get it assembled correctly in conference with legal, and we'll bring it back for the board to consider.
Excellent.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimous.
No, I didn't, no, I'm a no.
Oh,
I'm
no.
still a no.
Oh, it's a, okay, motion passes 4-1 to research that and bring it back to the board.
Yep, and just to note on the record that Director Luth voted no, just so it's reflected in the minutes.
Okay, we're done with fire chief's comments. Chief?
Okay, thank you, President DeMonico, and board members and staff and community. Under personnel development activities on February 14th from 8 to noon, myself and the entire executive management team participated in an off-site team building workshop with led or facilitated by Dr. Wayne McAfee. It was a very productive event, and it's just an opportunity for us to bring our team closer together and explore where we can go from here. On February 26th through the 28th, board member Howie, myself, and staff attended a Special Districts Leadership Academy at La Quinta. This really helps us to stay abreast of what's going on with special districts and help us keep our District of Distinction Platinum recognition going. So it was a great event, and we appreciate the support. Under board activities and public relations on February 13th, on February 22nd, Chief Alt, Chief Skibar, and attended the annual Student Government Day event. A great event, and they had an opportunity to engage the young people and help them explore what this business is all about, and maybe get them interested. We have to start getting these young folks early to fill our seats. So thank you to both deputy chiefs for their willingness to participate, and that included both cities, the City of Chino and the City of Chino Hills. On February 24th, we had a remote meeting, February 27th, we had a remote finance committee meeting with a remote platform. On February 28th, board staff and I attended the Chino Valley Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. I believe there was over 700 people this year. I think continues to grow. What a great event. I had the opportunity to have Mr. Darryl Strawberry there. What a powerful, impactful story he has. So great event, and my understanding is they're looking to try to crest the 1,000 people mark next year. So wish the fire district had a place to host them, but that's going to be a task. But what a great event. On February 28th, myself, along with President DeMonico, attended the Confire Board of Directors meeting. And moving on February 2nd, myself and other local fire chiefs attended the West End Chiefs meeting hosted in Rancho Cucamonga. Under Confire items of interest, negotiations continue related to the request for proposal for ambulance services. Proposals are tentatively due March 23rd. I want to give a special thank you to Deputy Chief Cook, who is sitting in as the interim Confire Director currently. Our EMS nurse is over there making sure that we shore up a lot of the elements related to the ECNS program. And sitting right next to my right, Acting Deputy Chief Smith. Can't thank you enough. It's my personal belief that a lot of the traction in the movement we have really comes directly really back to your efforts, and I mean that with all sincerity. Not only from what you do, but the ability for me to just go do what I have to do and trust that you're looking after this community's interests. So thank you very much for that, Dean. Under organizational items of interest, we don't have any recruitment updates at this point. However, with the change of clock, we want to talk about change smoke alarm batteries when you change your clock. Chino Valley Fire encourages you to change the batteries in your smoke alarm and test them by pushing the test button when you move your clocks forward for daylight savings time, Sunday, March 12th, 2023. Chino Valley Fire District provided support for service calls for the Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department during the funeral services for the passing of firefighter Miguel Cervantes from Rancho Cucamonga. So the Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department had an engineer who recently passed line of duty related to cancer. We know this is continues to be a very impactful to our industry, so I want to give a special thank you to the Board of Directors for supporting us with things like the Plimo vent system that we just approved last board meeting. And many times we find out about things and we have to make adjustments on the fly, changing ice makers and all these really different things. So thank you for helping us keep our folks safe. Under upcoming events, letters of support are still coming in to support the Chino Valley Fire District efforts in gathering support for financial assistance related to our Station 68 project. CVFD appreciates all agencies who have assisted us in reaching our goal. That includes folks like the City of Chino Hills, and we have a representative from the City of Chino here tonight. Unfortunately, Mr. Bennett couldn't be here, or he showed up, but he had to leave. But many agencies in our district have given us letters of support to say, hey, we agree with what they're trying to attempt to do to get a new fire station, and we appreciate the support. Friday, March 11th, Assemblymember Freddie Rodriguez's swearing-in ceremony at 11 at his headquarters in building in Chino. And Tuesday, March 14th, is the Memorial Gymnasium dedication for the former Chino City Council member Mark Hartgrove. A dedication will be held at the Chino High School Gymnasium at 5 p.m. at 5431 Jefferson Avenue. If you don't know Mr. Hargrove, he was a true community man. He unfortunately was taken from us way too soon. He was a fantastic partner at Chino, and so if you have the time, I would encourage all community members and staff and board to go out and pay our respects. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And now's the time for board comments, and we'll start with Director Evinger.
Okay. First, I want to start off and I want to thank Councilmember Comstock. I'm going to refer to you as Karen. Thank you for your kind words, and to you as well. You have been a role model to so many young females as well, and not just young, all different ages. And I just want to thank you and acknowledge you, and also acknowledge that we have another council member hiding in the back over there. Chris, thank you so much for coming and staying today, you guys. And I'm glad you got to see a lot of the joy that we get to deal with in our presentations today. So I had a kind of a little busy month with CSDA, with the Professional Development Committee. We're preparing for our annual conference, and so the Professional Development Committee, I've had actually three meetings last month. Attended the 20th, the 22nd, and the 24th. On the 21st, had a Chino Council meeting. The 23rd, I had a meeting with the fire chief. On the 2nd of March, I had an ad hoc committee meeting for the chief evaluation. I also had I was on the policies, the board policies, so we had an ad hoc for that as well. The 4th, we had another chief evaluation ad hoc, and busy over the weekend handling some stuff, and then the mayor's prayer breakfast, and then we just had a Chino Council meeting last evening. And the Fred L. Burns Award, that's near and dear to my heart, and I am honored to be able to serve on that committee, and I thank the board for allowing me to continue to do that. And it was nice to see that we had an awesome recipient. We had one this year, and I'm really happy for about that. Our hometown heroes, that I wasn't aware of the two young children that assisted their toddler child. And having a swimming pool, it really, I've always been scared, but it's just that quick. It's that quick. So it was really neat to see. And then the neighbor. And watching the mama come up, and very emotional for her, it's still very real for her. So just a reminder to everyone out there how dangerous, it's you just turn your back and a child can go down in the pools. And we're starting to get sun, so we know everyone's gonna start enjoying their recreation pools and stuff, so. Let me see here. I want to again acknowledge our CWPP from the Fire Safe Council. You guys, thank you for the district support and for allowing staff and everyone to help the Fire Safe Council in taking care of all these items. And with these, it also helps us with our fire safe certifications and stuff. So I appreciate that. And let me see, I have a bunch of little notes. Our two survivors, 35, 36, and I'll let you guys continue to speak on that because I don't want to take everything. And that will be all. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Krieger.
Sir said it all. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, Director Howie.
No, keep going. I attended school board meetings. The only thing of significance there is they're talking about changing, they named a school, and now they're talking about changing that up. Chino Hills council meetings, met with the chief. Tom and I met with Congresswoman Norma Torres and one of her staff members about trying to get some more money, and we hope to meet with her in Washington, D.C. next month when we're there, making the rounds, asking for money as well. Attended the Mayor Prayers Breakfast. Sarah, it was a wonderful event. Thank you for your efforts in making that happen. And tonight's event was fantastic. With the Donate Life and the Fred Burns Award and the Hometown Hero, the survivor recognition, it's truly special to see what happens around here. On a personal level, I want to thank the crews at Station 62 that came out last Thursday. My 17-year-old son had a medical event, and he had to be transported to the hospital, and I want to thank them for their professionalism and their grace and how quickly they came out. It was a little confusing, so they handled it great, and he's doing well. He was back home that night. And we followed up with some people after that. So really want to thank them for taking good care of us there. And, I would love to say that, that they gave me special treatment because I'm on the board, but I know that this is how they are with everybody. And it's great to see them in action. You don't want to see them in action at your house with the loved ones. So, and it was the day before my son's 18th birthday, so he was, even more anxious that he wasn't doing well, and he's like, oh my gosh, it's my birthday tomorrow, and this is what's happening. So he took his first ride in the ambulance, and hopefully his last for a very long time. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Director Howie.
Thank you, John. Just a few items here. First of all, I want to thank Mayor Pro Tem Comstock for talking about the Stepping Up program. It's a great program, and as always, I'm glad to see it's back. One of the things I attended the Knights of Columbus spaghetti dinner a few weeks ago, and it was really great at St. Margaret's. I hadn't been there before, but there was a lot of people I knew, which was kind of cool. And I actually did win one raffle prize, so that's always, makes it worthwhile showing up. Made my donation though, but that was a really good event. Let's see what else. I attended my first women's prison meeting over at Chaffey College Center and got to find out a few things about the women's prison. And it's interesting that their total population now is down less than 1,000. I was kind of surprised. I think they used to have close to 2,000. They're down under 1,000 prisoners now, and that was kind of interesting. And they have plans of trying to clean up the frontage and do a bunch of different things at the prison. So hopefully they'll get that place looking a little better. Norma Torres, we met with her as Mike said. I've been doing a lot of webinar training on all the special districts and fire, and I went to the Leadership Academy, which was pretty interesting. I knew a lot of the stuff, but it was good to kind of see how many special districts there are. You know, there's over 2,000 special districts in California. I didn't know that. Seems like there's a special district for just about anything. And I think that the important thing at that thing was more about, which I kind of focused in on, was strategic planning, long-range planning, which, you know, you kind of get involved with the daily things, and sometimes you don't think as far ahead as you should. So I thought that was really good about that. And also, of course, getting along with your former or your current board members. They talked a lot about being professional, getting along with people. When the vote doesn't go good, let it go. You know, be professional. And so, yeah. So I'll try to do that as best I can from that standpoint. I'll try to do that.
That's all we can ask.
Huh?
That's all we can ask.
That's right. Okay. And last but not least, I attended Harvey Luce's father's ceremony. Harvey, you did a great job. I mean, I know it was a lot of pressure, and you guys, it was really, I learned a lot about your dad, and it was really a good ceremony, really good. And all of us were at that function. So, you know, condolences, but just wanted to say you did a great job. That's all I have.
Vice President Lewis.
Okay, so had a meeting with the chief. I had the men's prison advisory group that I went and met with. Let's see here, a couple of Chino council meetings. I think the one thing to bear in mind is they are moving their start time to 6 p.m. about in a month and a half, it sounds like, before it'll take effect. So they'll be starting 1 hour earlier. Let's see, we had an agenda review meeting, a finance meeting, well, no, we didn't have, that's right, scratch that one. Prayer breakfast, that was awesome, yeah, that was great. Well done, good turnout, that was good. Let's see here, we had a couple of ad hoc meetings, one with Anthony. Anthony, thank you for your help, helping us put things together, really appreciate your assistance, making sure we had what we needed, making yourself available if we had questions, much appreciated. Let's see here. Boris, I'm not even gonna try the last name, his promotion. You know, I remember when I first met him at Chino Hills, and he was, you know, temporary. And I remember thinking, and when I got to learn a little bit more about him, I'm thinking, this guy's he's gonna go somewhere. And I'm so glad he's here. He can't be done here. He's gonna keep moving up here. This guy is, he's just a good person, a good hard worker. I think we're fortunate to have him here. Let's see here, the Fred Burns Award, and yeah, wonderful. And love hearing her involvement and how she's trying to support the efforts of the district. That's just fantastic. And the survivors, the hometown heroes, all those recognitions, the young boys, that's just amazing that they jumped in, and that's incredible. Ed, I've known Ed for I don't know how many years, as long as I've been in Kiwanis. He's been in Kiwanis too, so I've known him a long time, and just an incredible story there. And so it's good to see him here. Don't forget the pipes and drums coming up on the 17th, the 18th and 19th is Chino Days. So if you can be there, that would be great. And thank you to everyone, the flowers from the foundation and everybody. The cards, to the board and I don't even know who was all there, but I know the board was there, and I just really appreciate it, really meant a lot. Yeah, it's been interesting, and by the way, at the event, we had a painting, and
Yes.
so, yeah, so, my mom was quite the artist, and so she painted a painting of us as young children about 66, I think about 1966 she painted it. And so now, who gets his painting? And my younger brother does not want it. So that's why, that was the deal. So he didn't know I was gonna do this, but when I got up to talk, that was the first thing I did. Everybody's gotta help us figure out where this painting goes. We want you to vote. And by the way, to help you decide who should vote, my brother's always been the favored son, so. And then the vote box had all this stuff on it, you know, vote for Ken is a win and all this stuff. And then he, of course, went and changed it up. It didn't matter who voted because his own son loaded the painting into his pickup truck without him knowing it. He didn't realize it was there till he got to Ely, Nevada, so.
Oh, no, sir.
Yes, yes, yeah, so that thing's coming back someday, but we had a lot of fun with that. Anyway, thank you, everyone, much appreciated.
Okay. I attended a number of meetings this month and along with finance agenda, the chief, but I want to highlight and talk about a couple of meetings. One was the Confire Board meeting, and just would like the board to know that I think Nathan's doing a really good job out there in Confire, and he's doing a good job for us, and I think that with Nathan there, we have a pretty good idea of what Confire is and those types of things, but there was a couple of things that came up. One of them is now for the first time they're full staff. And it's been an issue out there because of wages and other things, that it's been hard to keep those positions filled. And throughout the last year, and the board's voted, we've raised those wages, we've got the wages up a little bit, the recruitment's been up, and now it's up to full staff. So it's nice that we have that out there, because the Confire, that's our communications, that's where it all starts for us. So it starts there, so we're doing good things out there. And I want to thank Nathan, because he was the one that was there that actually got that thing up to full staff. I want to talk about CSDA Legislative Committee meeting. I had a Legislative Committee meeting, and as usual, things in Sacramento are going crazy, and they're going to get crazier. I have another meeting on Friday, so I think after Friday, I'll be bringing some things back, and we may have to have a Legislative Committee meeting on some of the things that are occurring up there that may need support or opposition from us. So more to come on that, but we'll be doing that Friday. Congratulations to Boris and Ann for the AEDs. Mark, I got a question for you. What's an AED cost?
About $2,500.
27?
2,500.
2,500 roughly? Okay, I was just curious, because that's, and we've done quite a few.
Yeah.
But apparently she's was very instrumental in getting some of those, and thanks to the foundation for that program. And the Hometown Heroes, it's incredible. We're gonna have to go to a second board here soon. And I don't know if it ever lived long enough, but I'd like to see this whole place plastered with these boards full of challenge coins. That's just incredible for what was done. And to donate life, and along with the same lines with that. But with the passage tonight of the board policies, I'm going to dissolve 3 ad hoc committees. 2 of them now fall into board policies, and those were the Chino Hills Facility ad hocs. And also, now that they're passed, I can dissolve the board policy ad hoc. So we will take those off the records, and possibly take one more off next month. So we will let that go for now. And with that, the meeting will be adjourned to a regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Chino Valley Independent Fire District, to be held on Wednesday, April 12th, 2023 at 6 p.m. at District Headquarters Office located at 14011 City Center Drive, Chino Hills, California, 91709. And thank you, everybody. Meeting is adjourned.